Hello, everyone. My name is Megha Sachdeva, and I am a new media artist. I would like to call myself that. I am very honored and humbled to be in this room with so many amazing and talented artists from across the world. And I would take this moment to thank CICA Museum for selecting constellations to be shared among a wider audience. I would directly start with the project so I have time to play the entire performance for you guys. The constellations is ideally my master's thesis project that was born out of nothing but sheer curiosity for the universe. I have been wanting to be a cosmologist ever since I was a child, but reality never goes that way. So I became an IT engineer instead. And then I found myself being a little restricted by the syntax and the code. So I switched to being a UX designer and I pursued my master's at Arizona State University. I recently graduated from ASU in this May 2025. And just a year before I was graduating, I found my amazing mentor, Weidi Zhang. She is a renowned media artist and an amazing professor and mentor. So that was it. Like, she was just my inspiration, and I found something that I truly resonate with and I want to do for the rest of my life as my career option. Art is something that I feel just gives you a medium to tell your story and what you think about everything to a much larger audience in a way that might not might not be understood by everyone, but it surely finds its correct audience. So Constellations is an immersive and interactive audiovisual experience which transforms the screen, which was a virtual production volume in my case, to a giant cosmic canvas where light, movement, and imagination converge and recreate the celestial wonders of the night sky. As I said, the project was born from the admiration of the universe and its vastness and how it just goes beyond everything. What I really wanted to do is to bring the universe and form a human connection so that the humans or the audience can play with the stars, be as close to the universe as possible. So it was inspired by the intricacies of space and the boundless possibilities of digital art. Constellations is my way of bridging the tangible and the intangible. While I may never traverse the stars as an astronaut, but I can surely bring them through life through pixels and light, inviting viewers into an interactive experience of wonder and curiosity. This is what I would like to call my universe. The concept development and how the story or how the visual progresses is I took inspirations from the um, three of the biggest Oz for me. So the first is the Big Bang Theory, and I was fascinated how cosmic cycles, starting with the explosion of a star and then how it converted into a galaxy and how everything became what it is now that we are living in. So the project starts with a Big Bang Theory. There's a star that explodes into which forms a a galaxy, defining that we are nothing but just stardust, and then it transforms into something I call a star wall, wherein the audience interacts with the piece. So another concept that, as I mentioned already, was my childhood dream of being a cosmologist, which is still standing still. But my inspirations were from the NASA Hubble and James Webb telescopes that I grew up watching and admiring. So I chose the color scheme and the themes that resonated with me the most, and I could not stop looking at them, wondering that my work would also be something that people won't stop looking at. And these are some documentations from the showcase. I had 4 public showcase at the Arizona State University Media and Immersive Experience Center. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. So, and as I saw people interacting with the piece and the reviews that they gave me, what stood out for me was when people said that it was healing for them. art has been always something that I find my comfort and healing from. So it was very important for me to create a piece that also resonates and also brings the same emotion that I feel while making it. So I'd like to go back. So here are the um, three different stills from the experience. So the first is where just there's a star. It's a creation of a star, and it's mimicking Big Bang theory and how it explodes and transforms into a galaxy. Everything is made in the tool called Touch Designer. So it's real time rendering, and the I was controlling this galaxy using a mouse, which is also for audience to play with. And then the galaxy transforms into an interactive star wall where I have placed a depth sensor camera, Kinect in my case, and people can just stand in front of it, do any small gesture, and it will change the visuals on the screen. So for my case, I wanted people to be as close to the universe as possible. So I call it Star Wall so that people can play around with stars. So this is stills from like audience interacting with the stars. This is from another showcase that we had at Mix Center. And for the future scope, I have been developing another version of constellations in which even the galaxy can be controlled by hand. So I had my Doctor Strange moment a little bit here when I was just controlling the galaxy with my hands. So this is still a work in progress, and I'm still doing my research about how to make it as efficient as possible because there are technological restrictions of how many people can individually the camera can track. So for me, it's more than an artwork. It's my first child, I would like to say, because this is where I knew that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, because the content and the satisfaction that this work gave me, I think that was something I couldn't find in 4 years of my engineering or 2 years of my UX designing. So yeah, it's really special to me. And uh okay, yeah, I would just stop here. I would like to oh sorry. I would like to play the entire experience so that everybody gets to pretty much me playing for the rest of the time. So, for the technical specs, if anybody's wondering, this is um, this is a virtual production volume, which is very highly used these days for reducing the post production side of filmmaking, and everything is already rendered using a game engine like Unreal Engine or Unity, and films are shot on it directly. So we had the access to it at the amazing ASU Mix Center facility. So this is a nearly 15-foot tall giant LED screen, and there's a Kinect depth sensor camera in front of it, which is detecting all the gestures, and in the real time touch designer is feeding the input is fed into touch designer so that it can interact with the visuals in real time. So that's the spec side about it. And I would just like to give a huge shout out to my sound designer, Campbell Gregory, who collaborated with me in designing the perfect sound that I wanted to have for the visuals. I was being very specific about where I want the explosion to be, where I want a very mellow sound, where I wanted Troye Sivan's uh, Fault in Our Stars song to be added in the end. And of course, my professor, Wei Zhang, who just walked me through the entirety of it. And it was a really nerve wracking moment for me when I first presented it to the audience and got a really good public feedback. So I think that just gave me the confidence to be where I am today. And a little about myself. So, as I said, that I was an engineer and then turned into a designer, and now I'm a media artist. And so far, um, I've had a couple of public exhibitions at the Media and Immersive Experience Center in Arizona. And last month, I presented at the IEEE YSAP in Vienna for another of my project, which was Kaleidoscope of Thoughts. And I might soon be sharing it with CICA Museum next year. But I still feel I have a long way to go. And as humans, we only have much to learn and keep growing. So I'm fairly new in this field, but I genuinely feel very humbled and honored each time I meet new artists, or I just visit museums and I just stand in front of the art and see how big and small at the same time the humans are. So I appreciate you all listening and being here today, and thank you so much.